Hey everybody, before we start, just letting you know that we recorded this all the way back in December and that it's March now. So we've already recorded several episodes of our newest project, so stick around until the end and I will tell you all about that. Hey everybody, welcome back to Podcasts and Such, where we are watching Mob Psycho 100, Season 3. I'm Jay.
And I'm Luke.
And today we will be discussing Season 3, Episode 12, Confession the Future.
That's right.
Yep. And I'm going to be referencing a book. Everybody just calls it the fan book. It's filled with questions that were submitted by fans, and one answered them. And he also... it's kind of written in the way of like characters being like interviewed, is how it's answering a lot of those questions. But yeah. So I'll be referencing that book a bit. Take everything I say with a grain of salt because it was fan translated and not in any official releases. And there's been some contested debates about, certain phrases and whatnot. So I'll be referencing it throughout. So that's the book I'm talking about, the one that came out in November 2022.
Cool.
Yep. Exactly.
I got it.
Cool. All right. So the episode opens up with Serizawa and Reagan.
Yeah.
We're going towards Mob, and Serizawa can only get so far. Now, I've always taken this as, do you or do you not think that Serizawa knows that Reagan's a fraud?
I think everyone knows Reagan's a fraud.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, Serizawa, when Reagan was like, I'll go on my own, was just like, how?
Exactly.
How are you to do that, sir? You have
no power.
You have no ability.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't know whether or not you were at this point sure or not that Serizawa knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a real mystery. Yeah.
And, all his clientele think he's real,
Yeah, but those are normies.
They are normies, yes. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, what are...
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Cool.
That Serizawa knows. Yeah.
It's probably because that's true.
Yeah. I came out here to have a good time. Yep. Yeah, so we get more of a Shigeo and Mob.
Mm-hmm.
And them talking it out, and the whole I always like the whole, you didn't fall in love with her, I did thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shigeo, not Mob.
The powers.
Yeah, the powers. Yeah. Yeah, so we got kind of finally got an answer to, why Mob likes her. It's because Shigeo likes her, because she didn't treat him any differently.
Mm-hmm.
In contrast to Reagan, who very much treated him very differently.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. That was interesting to point out.
Yeah. And then I think I mentioned it in some of our earlier season discussions. Well, especially like at the end of season 2, it's like you were like, why is Reagan going up there with a gun or whatever when, Mob's up there, Mob's very powerful. It's like, Reagan's never seen Mob explode.
Right.
He didn't know that was the thing that he was concerned about.
Yeah. He's never seen the 100%.
Yeah, he's never seen it happen.
Or mystery percent.
Yeah, he hasn't seen it happen, and I don't think Mob ever told him that he hurt Ritsu or whatever,
Right.
So I think, it's just really interesting to see him admit that, oh yeah, I talked about this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Mob's confession to Tsubomi was not the only confession. It's Reagan's confession to Mob.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, Mob either on a subconscious level or on a very conscious level understood that Reagan's a fraud probably this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of the admitting, that really counts here.
Yeah.
Because I think back in season 2, I think he really wanted Mob to, just say it to him. Like he says, "Hey, Mob, do you know what I really am? What they're saying about me?" And he goes, "Oh, you're a good person." It's like, cool. I kind of wanted you to say
Yeah.
that you don't have powers, so we can just rip off that band-aid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, do you there's a significance to taking off your shoes, like Reagan did
Mhm.
in Japan. Do you know about that?
No.
So, it's something you do before you commit suicide, because you're going to enter the afterlife like you would one's home.
Mm.
So a lot of people found it a little more contemplative, and he's like his hands shaking in the manga as he holds his shoes because he's like, well, I may die
Yeah.
when I go uh,
Mhm.
approach Mob here.
Right.
I just might
I'm glad
die.
that the Japanese are so courteous when they kill themselves. Yeah.
Well, it's to show,
They don't want to track mud into the afterlife.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's just to show that the finality of it being a decision,
Sure.
kind that premeditated.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Here he is shaking
Yeah.
as he holds his shoes.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could you not pull that up on the computer?
I don't. I've forgotten that I put them all on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's probably easier.
Yeah, it'll be easier to kind of just scroll through
Yeah.
and look at them as we go. Yeah. So a lot of people found this whole. It's a much longer sequence of him running towards Mob.
Yeah.
A whole theme song's worth of him running towards Mob.
Yeah.
Which I
makes
I
better.
think it was cool, but a lot of people, kind of like the quiet desperation of it all in the manga.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a shonen anime, yeah.
Yeah, I get you there.
You gotta have some like resolute running towards your death.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I always enjoyed that. Like, started working out too, Mob.
Mhm.
Those
It's secret workout.
secret workouts.
Yeah.
That was always like really funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, really, really cool to see the whole. Yeah, there's two sides to everybody thing, and yeah, I was wondering whether or not they would do the Reagan and the ashtray of cigarettes overflowing. I was worried they would cut that out. I don't know why they would, but you never know what they're gonna cut.
With him meeting Mob the first time?
No. With when he was saying, between you and me, I really hate my the other side of myself, and
Yeah.
remember when he was saying that, I hate that other side of myself
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah,
It flashed to a scene of him.
yeah, with his cigarette and his ashtray
Yeah.
overflowing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I always took that to mean that Reagan has not entirely quit smoking.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't under the impression that he had ever quit smoking.
Right. Well, it is something.
I just knew that they threw that in sometimes and not others. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It's not like the kind of thing where it's like there's characters who are always smoking.
yeah. Well, it's mostly because we only see him do it in the ending theme, outside of flashbacks.
Okay, well maybe
Yeah.
it's because they established that so early on.
That
Him smoking in the beginning that I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, Reagan smoked.
Right. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
this is an omake of a very young mom. If a kid's gonna be coming around, I should maybe lay off the tobacco. Plus, I'm learning how to money. It's a great time to quit. I'll make this my last one. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, Shigeo-kun, you're really. So there are also psychic powers like this.
Yeah.
As he's blowing smoke rings.
Yeah.
Which, he used to call him Shigeo. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder when he started calling him Mob.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I guess I guess I hadn't made that connection that
Yeah.
people thought he had quit.
Yeah, people thought he quit because we don't never see him do it outside of the flashback.
But then again, like that that image, if I'm remembering it correctly, I thought that was tied to him putting out the cigarette when Mob came in as a little kid, or that was flashing. That was flashing somewhere. He
That's
was
flashing somewhere.
he
Yes.
wasn't pulling out a overflowing ashtray and cigarettes and putting his suit back on and smoking in that scene.
Well, yeah, no, he wasn't doing that. I
Yeah.
guess to me, this cut in the manga looks like it's cutting over to like his house or something with his overflowing ashtray of cigarettes.
Right.
Now, in the anime, yes, they do have him there
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then in that, it's clearly not the same scene either because he's got his he's not all messed up.
Well, yeah, then they cut over to him saying, "Because I had lies, I was able to get to know you, and because Mob, because you had that power,
Yeah.
you are who you are right now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like Studio Bones is interpreting it the way I am.
Yeah, that is flashing back.
Flashing somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know it's not
Yeah.
I know it's not what is currently happening.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just saying that I think it's about a current concern of his.
Yeah, that he
Yes.
smokes a lot.
Yes.
I'm just not sure we ever established that he didn't smoke a lot.
Well, we never see him smoke in the present.
Yeah.
Only in the ending themes and in the past.
I think that's because most of the time we see him around Mob, and maybe he's just trying to be conscious of,
Yeah, he doesn't smoke around
of Mob's help.
Yeah,
help.
so if you see, a lot of my morning was spent gathering these screenshots from the eye catches.
Yeah.
So there's one of him finding Mob finding him smoking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know if like that's young Mob or what, or if that's the omake we just read.
Yeah.
It might be. Yeah. Yeah, it's man, like I think there's 16 images of each.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's Mob from Reagan's perspective and Reagan from Mob's perspective.
Nice.
Is what we see. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and some of them are a continuous story here, like of them building a snowman together.
Yeah.
And then we got, the it's okay to run away scene.
Yeah.
Uh,
They all seem like continuous stories.
Well, these are all actually out of order. I had to like put these together myself. I had to figure it out.
Which one went with which?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, because they flash back
Yeah.
on screen. Yeah, we got the finding the Tsuchinoko and getting mushrooms instead.
Okay.
Bones' favorite scene, Mob and Reagan meeting each other first time.
Yeah.
Sakayaki going to the beach. Never saw that in the canon.
That's interesting that they so many of them correlate to one another.
Yeah.
And yet they didn't play them in a specific order.
Yeah, I think I had to rearrange them a bunch, but yeah. Yeah, because like these don't go together.
Sure.
Yeah. It's within the same episode, I guess, but
Yeah.
Yep.
I like how they put a little bit of the manga style in there with those little eye catchers.
I believe I would have to check on this. That one did draw these.
Yeah. It seems
like specifically. Yeah.
It's his style for sure.
Well, and so the other ones were drawn by I believe an old assistant of his. I forgot their name.
Yeah.
But they had actually animated two. Yeah. Two. They did some like commercials for the books actually for the release of the volumes or whatever. I'll have to link to those. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, I can't. I can't edit out overlapping things when we're on a single channel like
Okay.
this.
Well, you weren't saying anything
Yeah, I wasn't saying
important.
Yeah.
Oh well. So yeah, that was fun. Mob and Reagan's whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
He confesses to Mob and sort of tells him that everybody goes through this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
Most
again the
people
whole,
don't wreck entire cities when they do so, but yeah.
you know, you know. Well, that's what I really enjoyed. Bones added in that whole Reagan kind of rambling after Mob got rejected and they're
Mhm.
walking together.
I like that.
The last thing he said was, you're gonna be okay. Your whole life's ahead of you and all that.
Yeah.
But then we get the whole like, oh boy, there's a lot of property damage out here.
Yeah.
We should call somebody. Hey, Serizola, I'm alive, by the way.
I appreciate that. I appreciate them adding that just because
Oh,
it's the Avengers problem, right? It's you know,
yeah.
where's the collateral damage?
Mhm.
New York is in ruins.
Yeah, but as Reagan points out, they know plenty of aspers. They can do it.
Yeah.
They can clear it out. They got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh yeah, and so one of the reasons that people were a little unsure we would get a season 3 is that we already got some of the imagery of the finale from the ending theme of season 2.
Oh, okay. You think they did that in case they didn't get a season 3?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's got the one flower.
The one flower and standing by himself and
Huh.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's never an absolute that an anime is gonna finish.
Sure.
And like plenty of things that Bones has adapted before they didn't like do. They didn't do like a season 2 of things. Like I think like Soul Eater never got like a season 2 or on High School Host Club, stuff like that. Sometimes stuff just doesn't get a season 2.
And those things had more material, or
Yeah,
because like
Soul Eater goes on for quite some time, and as does Oran High School Host Club.
okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because there are these animes that seem to adapt a relatively short manga series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are plenty that do, but there are
So
some
it's
that.
like you do 26 episodes and then it's done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's why with those shows, like they gave their own endings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like kind of how we felt with the first 2 seasons of Mob Psycho.
Hmm.
You could go, oh wow, what an interesting story that was, and end there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be real with you, some of the building of season 3 was not great to me.
Yeah, it's an interestingly paced season, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know how I'll feel about it whenever I'm probably gonna do, a full series.
Yeah.
Watch again at some point.
I thought season 2 was probably the best season.
Oh yeah, I think seasons 1 and 2 kind of vie in my mind for
Hmm.
top dog because season 2 does have some really good highlights.
Season 2 just felt like it had more of a destination, right?
I see.
It's just like the entire scenario of the last 2 episodes here didn't really, I mean, it's an element that was there, so it's not completely out of nowhere that the series would end with Mob going, you know, question mark percent and having to be confronted and deal with himself and all that.
Yeah.
But it's such a non sequitur, I guess, It's just how it happened. Just third to last episode, Mob just gets hit by a car.
Uh-huh.
Mob just gets hit by a car, and that makes everything happen. It's not like the season 2 that ended with a showdown with this guy that we've been building up to the entire
Right.
time.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, this season almost feels yeah, outside of the stream of
Yeah.
the story in a way that's hard to articulate, but again, sometimes in rewatches and seeing everything as a whole rather than week by week, like we've been saying.
I also feel like it was really cheap to bring Dimple back.
Yeah, you thought it was cheap.
I thought it was really cheap, and he did the thing where you explain in like 2 lines of dialogue why you're here, when you're
Yeah.
supposed to be dead, because we don't have time to dedicate to,
Yeah.
fleshing out why you're here.
But they've already set up about the manifestation of beliefs and all that
Yeah.
in Bob
But
Psycho.
it's also stupid. Just let Dimple die, We didn't need Dimple back.
But he needed to help Reagan get to Bob.
No. We didn't need Dimple back. And it kind of cheapens Dimple's self-sacrifice,
Uh-huh.
you know?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially to have it happen in such a Deus Ex Machina
Mm.
sort of, oh, hey, Dimple's back, because I guess we needed him for a minute.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I like it.
I didn't like it.
Oh no, I like it. Yeah.
Just, if Dimple's gonna sacrifice himself, let him be sacrificed.
Mm. Let's see. So that's all we saw with that, with the Reagan running around with his shoes off
Mm-hmm.
and parkour.
Parkour?
A lot of goods thrown around. As a lot of people point out, yeah, Ritsu is the only person who was spared from Mob's wrath as question mark %.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Didn't want to hurt his brother.
No, he didn't. That was actually something that was a cut line. No one will save me. The truth is, I don't trust anyone. Well, Ritsu seemed to understand at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess we, at this point, gotta talk about Tsubomi.
Yeah, you want to talk about it?
Tsubomi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know her. Mob doesn't know her.
Nobody knows her.
Nobody knows her.
What's up with Tsubomi?
She's just cool, I guess. Yeah, I know it's kind of silly that she stayed, despite all this destruction happening, but it just shows us she cares. But it is also extremely funny to me.
Yes.
There's there are some theories that she's like an Esper or something, neither confirmed nor denied by anybody.
Yeah.
So who knows? But I think it's funnier if she isn't.
Yeah. I mean,
she's just a little weird.
I did appreciate that aspect that she kept staying.
Yeah.
Mob was obviously wanting to talk to her or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is kind of weird to have done that and then at the end just be like, oh, well, you're like a friend,
Something that I've kind of gleaned from from what we know about Tsubomi or whatever, in the story she told Reagan, it sounds like she has that very, middle school idea of what a relationship of you already know somebody and you already like them and you go on a date with them because you already like them and not dating to figure out if you like somebody or not, I guess.
Oh, sure.
That's kind of what I gleaned from like that scene. And I think Mob wants that as well.
Yeah.
And he thinks he knows Tsubomi,
Mm-hmm.
but Tsubomi's like, wow, we have not talked in 5 years, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not saying it's not I'm not saying that part's not realistic from
Yeah.
the rest of the show,
Uh-huh.
but it's a little weird coupled with the world was literally falling apart,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, huh, well, I need to make sure Mob's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
His voice was shaking on the phone.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like normal levels of care.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have a lot of close friends or whatever
Sure.
it seems, and she's just like,
But it does,
I'll
like-
be here.
It does to me. It was really there's something cathartic about it. Maybe as a middle schooler, a someone who was once a middle schooler had crushes on girls and did not receive affection from said girls.
Yes.
There was something like cathartic and like maybe I related, I
Mhm.
guess, to Mob. I thought it was like quintessential to have that sort of moment where he comes back and he's like, "Well, I got rejected."
Yeah, it is a really neat moment for him, and uh getting to getting to see him do that nice big cry, man.
Yeah,
I like how when reading the manga, it looks like it like, hurts,
Mhm.
like find that panel. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that
yeah,
crying that hurts, stings your eyes.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was good.
love it.
I liked it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's him reconciling with his powers and all that, and
Hmm.
oh, and I found that interesting of Mob asking Shigeo to accept him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was
yeah,
cool. But like, also remember we talk about this already? I think we talked about it off mic,
maybe.
where like you know, this is why Shigeo liked Tsubomi.
Yes, yeah, I believe we talked. Yeah, did we?
That was off mic, I'm pretty sure.
Mm, I don't know.
Well, then I guess we'll not talk about it
Well, we
now.
can talk about it now.
If we
And
talk
cut
about
it.
it now, yeah, just cut it out.
So yeah, that's why Shigeo likes Tsubame. You didn't fall in love with her, I did.
Right.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
which is
Yes.
interesting. I like that. Um, but it's also kind of weird. I wish they'd have addressed this one aspect, which is like what created the obsession,
Mm,
what created this like, persisting crush is that like she was the only person who didn't treat him like differently because of his powers,
yeah.
but then she also got bored of the very same powers. So like
Right.
Shigeo, the power having the psychic aspect of Mob
Mhm.
is at once holding on to this feeling of being accepted by Tsubomi, but also was the aspect of Mob that was ultimately rejected by Tsubomi,
Well, I think it's more of
or just got bored of.
right. I think it's more of Mob at that time feeling that if she's bored of his powers, then what else does he have?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the split. That's the split into
yeah,
Mob
so
and
that's
Shigeo.
that's the split of Mao and Shigeo. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. It is interesting that Shigeo was both rejected, but also but the fact that he can be treated as something so mundane,
Hmm.
maybe felt more accepted than anything else.
Maybe.
That he could be so mundane that he could be gotten bored of, right? Maybe.
I don't think that's what he was looking for.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's what he was looking for, but
Sure.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. There could maybe been some elaboration there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tsubomi.
Tsubomi.
Yeah, anything else you wanted to say about her?
I don't care about her.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a a fine enigmatic character on purpose, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know her, Bob doesn't know her.
Mhm.
Yeah. But they talk on the phone sometimes.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That's with that weird, like, as a youngin, I would have interpreted that as like, oh well, Mob and Tsubomi are still OTP.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna happen, boy.
So in the fan book,
Yeah.
probably gonna reference that.
Yeah, you talked a big game about referencing this fan book at the beginning.
Well, yeah, but it's all for all this like post epilogue stuff.
Gotcha.
It's all for epilogue stuff.
Well, we're getting into the epilogue.
Yeah,
then,
we're getting
so.
into the epilogue. But Tsubomi was asked in her little interview,
Mhm.
what are the chances of you and Mob getting together? She says, right now, 0.
Nice.
0%.
0%.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So, she wants to be friends with him.
She's crushing our dreams.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, I'm guessing at some point in our recordings of this, you probably thought I shipped Mob and Tsubomi. I don't.
I've never thought you as a person who ships anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm like cool with most ships or whatever,
Yeah, but
I read fan fiction.
you're not like
Yeah.
invested, right?
I mean, it depends on the story, I guess.
Yeah. I could see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I see you more invested on like a mathematical level, right? You just go like, oh, numbers indicate that this character would be good with this character, and
I mean,
it's not really a passionate thing. Like,
no, if somebody writes two characters together in their
Yeah.
whole fan fiction and
Sure.
they write a compelling enough story, I'll be like, yeah, I can see it.
right, sure,
Yeah.
right, but like even oh yeah, I can see it is
Yeah.
not Narusaku OTP. You know,
TPs. I'm very much a hey, convince me and we'll be there, whatever.
Sure. You just strike me as the kind of person who's like, as long as you write a cool story about it,
Yeah.
whatever pairing is fine.
Yeah, basically. Like,
Right.
yeah, let me say that the fandom likes Emmy and Mob far more than Tsubomi and Mob.
Oh, I love Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People like that.
Oh man, I miss Emmy.
Yeah, she could have squeezed her in the epilogue.
I know, right?
You want?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned more about Emmy in that one episode than we ever did about Tsubomi, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know a lot about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had more emotions going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never suspected you shipped Mob and Tsubomi.
Right.
Unless, like, I guess maybe there could have been a point where I was like, maybe things changed drastically by the end of this thing.
Yeah, I think maybe you were thinking that we would get a ton of character development for her or something.
I mean, I was always doubtful. If you go back, I labeled it the Kyrie problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did.
I was just like, this is gonna happen where Tsubomi keeps showing up and I keep going, hey, maybe this time we'll develop her character a little bit. And then that doesn't happen.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good stuff. Good times. Good times.
I wasn't convinced or rooting for
Mhm.
Tsubomi to get fleshed out and,
Yeah.
and make this the OTP.
Yeah.
Especially after they put Emmy in my face. I was just like,
Yeah. But yeah, we cut to the future.
mm-hmm.
The future part of the
future part.
confession. The future title. Yeah. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Okay.
The future.
Talk about the future, man.
Yeah,
What's up?
Well, Mob is vice captain of the Body Improvement Club. We talked
Yeah.
about that all the way back in season 2, episode 1 of, maybe becoming president of the student council was too big of a step.
What?
Maybe becoming president of the student council was way too big of a social leap for Mob, and you suggested that perhaps he should become like vice president of like the club he's currently in.
Oh, because he was
running
running
for student council.
I was really confused because, like, I thought you were mixing Ritsu and Mob in your brain because, like, Ritsu's VP.
Yeah, Ritsu's VP and Mob's vice captain of the Body Improvement Club.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, something that was a line that was cut that, Mob's, the mere presence of Mob and the Body Improvement Club now is why they have so many members now, because people saw him and went, oh, this is like a beginner's friendly club.
Gotcha.
So I like that.
So they saw the Wimpy kid and was like, hey,
well,
I can do this.
It's a little intimidating when you have, a club of like 8 Arnold Schwarzeneggers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little intimidating. So, he's bringing it down to,
he has lowered the bar.
Yeah, so that other people can raise themselves up. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a little moment of him being a little annoyed with Sagawa going, oh, the reason Kageyama couldn't join the club. And Bob's like, dude, don't tell that story.
Was that because he was in the telepathy club?
Well, he's for Sabomi.
Oh,
he
joined.
buffed to get girls, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Which he didn't get buff, and that's why he didn't get the girl.
Yeah, that's why she rejected him. Yeah, because he wasn't buff enough. That's the only problem.
That's true. Really, it's probably because he didn't win that marathon.
Oh, it's absolutely.
If he had won that marathon.
And looks like Mob upgraded to a smartphone instead of flip phone.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, upgrades, baby.
Year 2013.
Yeah, 2013, man.
Yeah.
As we assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so, Teru had his old hair in the manga, and Bones decided that he would look like Aoyama from My Hero Academia instead.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't even the hair that he had in Bones's interpretation.
Yeah, that's how one always drew his hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bones drew differently. Yeah.
We realize that one is working with limited faculties.
All right. Yeah, so Bones decided, and I like this as a progression thing. Like, new year, new him.
New year, new you.
Yeah, but of course, Bones also.
Remember that that game 12 minutes?
Oh yeah.
You remember 12 minutes?
Yes.
And when the wife or whatever, spoilers for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
The wife admits that she had shot her father or whatever. And she was like, I was going to turn myself in, but it was a new year.
That's right. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Officer, it was a new year.
New year, new me.
I can't be convicted of a crime I committed last year. New year, new me.
Man, if only the statute of limitations worked that way. The new year, new me clause.
Yeah. I can't be held responsible for anything I did last year.
Oh boy. But Bones always looking to the past. They had that moment of the wind blowing, and Ritsu had a vision of Teru wearing the cat wig still.
Yeah. That was great.
They have to remind us that it existed.
He won't let him be a new him. New year, new him.
Yeah.
I feel like last note on that. I feel like that's what Sam Bankman-Fried needs to do is like hold out for his trial until next year, and then he needs to get out there and testify, sir. It's a new year.
Such a different guy now. Look, my New Year's resolution says be a good guy. And
Be a lovable scamp.
putting me in jail would make me a bad guy. And that would really shatter my resolutions.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful.
Oh boy, yeah. So Bones added in that whole conversation about like going and getting shirts together and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
in the manga he just said, "Oh, I've been bored lately. You should invite me to hang out more, man."
Yeah.
Which is like, Teru, listen, I'm an introvert, and I'm absolutely down to go out with anybody who asks me.
Mhm.
You got to take the initiative, Teru. Balls in your court. It's not Bob's.
Gotcha.
Gotta take that initiative.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, we spent so long wondering whether Teru liked the shirt. We never considered that Mob likes the shirt.
Yeah. Mob also likes the shirt.
And that is also confirmed in the fan book as well. This isn't just Bones.
Oh, okay.
In the fan book, he says it's my only brand name clothing item or luxury clothing item that I own, and I save it for special occasions.
Nice.
And the fan book also says that Ritsu wears a lot of Mob's like hand-me-downs and stuff. So like Ritsu's just like, I can't, my pool of clothing cannot be tainted in this way. I can't only wear monkey shirts.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, I love that Mob has the monkey hoodie.
Yeah.
He's calling Spooey.
Yeah, that really shows that
He really does like it.
he just loves that monkey.
He loves that monkey. It's very good. I love it. I love it so much. I like that he likes the monkey shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all go down to spirits and such.
Mm-hmm.
Tomei's there.
Yeah.
So is Seriza.
Yeah. Tomei's working there. Makes sense.
Working there, yeah.
She likes spirits and such.
She does like spirits and also such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, how much do you want to know about the spinoff? Because I had no idea if that's getting animated.
There's a spinoff?
Yeah, there's a spinoff. I think I mentioned it before.
Why?
It's like 7 chapters. It's not like a long spinoff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a single volume.
What is it?
Well, it's called Reagan.
Okay.
And it is that between this time in the epilogue and the finale. So between that title card, Confession the Future, it's set in that time period.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
within that, like, however many months or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So between that.
Okay.
It's about Tomei's time at spirits and such, mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's 7 chapters. I hope they animate it. Who knows? They're having some kind of event in April 2023.
It seems unlikely.
Well, but the thing, they're having some kind of event in April 2023.
They'll do an OVA.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Because it's 7 chapters. They can knock that out in like an hour. Like an hour long OVA or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some kind of event's happening in April. I don't know if it's like an announcement of an OVA or maybe even another spin-off, because he's thought about this before.
Yeah.
After the Reagan spin-off came out, he was asked, what would there be anything else you wanted to do in terms of like spin-offs with characters? And he basically listed like every named character.
Huh.
He said like I think he said like Teru, Dimple, and like Sho, and like several others or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the fan book recently, he was asked again about spin-offs. and he only talked about Show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Sho also have that haircut in
Yes.
the manga?
He did.
Okay.
Also, he's kind of getting rid of his shonen protagonist look and just being a normie.
Seems weird.
I always read that, but before today, I would have just said, that feels like a very, it's. Yeah, I feel like he did that himself. Like he didn't go get his hair cut. He just had some clippers laying around and
Okay.
was like, yeah, I'm just gonna cut my hair today, whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah.
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 Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my big question
Yes.
about the epilogue.
Yeah.
The mob is supposed to have integrated.
I was wondering if you
Yeah.
were gonna ask that. Yeah.
Mob and Shigeo
Mhm.
are supposed to be of one person at this point. He's supposed to have accepted himself and his powers and all that.
Yeah.
But they gave us an epilogue where Mob never uses his powers.
So, in the manga, I feel like they make it a little more clear here.
Okay.
So when Reagan is tripping,
Balls?
dropping that,
Like tripping.
when he's tripping over cake, with the cake falling.
Yeah.
Right. So in the anime, they just kind of have the cake like stop in midair.
It lands on a table.
No, it didn't land on anything. It's on a tray, and I think it was stopped in midair.
Okay.
I was hoping that the anime would clarify who did that specifically.
Yeah.
In the manga, it's flung into his face.
Oh.
Presumably with psychic powers.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it was Mob who did that.
Yeah, yeah.
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 But it just seems weird that like even doing the whole stupid Inception thing, right? Where it's like is the top still spinning or is it gonna stop spinning? That whole thing. It sounds like that's sort of the implication is like did he stop using his powers or not? I think to see to properly end off this thing, it seems like you would want to show a well-integrated mob who can sometimes use his powers, sometimes not use his powers, and make that really apparent.
Yeah, I thought that was what him trying to save the cat without his powers and then flinging the cake at Reagan's face. That's what that was to me in the manga.
Right, but to me, in the anime watching just now, it was not apparent that he used his powers at the end there.
Yeah, I wish they made it very super clear that was him.
It looked to me like the cake just happened to land on something, and then Reagan fell into it. And, like they could have animated a little glow.
Yeah, that's
what
I was hoping for, and I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
Because I guess I too.
I feel like they wanted to follow one's lead in the manga and do sort of a Inception ending where it's like,
I don't think that's what one was going for.
Well, it's not apparent. It's not spelled out here that Mob did that.
Yeah, I guess not. But I mean, but in the language of comics, hey, who did that?
Mob, sure.
Okay.
So in the comic, it's much more obvious.
Yeah, to me it is, and it's much more obvious that a force flung it at his face.
So it's Bones who are doing the Inception ending.
Yeah, I guess I don't. But I also don't know what they meant to do that.
But with the animation, it's so much easier to indicate that he's using psychic powers.
Yeah, I really do wish they would have done that.
Yeah,
I agree with
that. Kind of sucked.
Yeah,
it didn't really give me the impression that Mob had become an integrated person.
I see.
The whole ending read to me like Mob was just. It almost read like we were back to square one, and Mob was just not using his powers at all.
Right. Yeah. So that's why. I am a little disappointed that Bones didn't like make that exceptionally clear that was
Yeah.
him using his powers.
Because
And
if that's the linchpin of the show,
yeah,
is that he is integrated now with his powers and he has come to terms with them,
yeah,
but doesn't need to necessarily use them all the time. So,
Mhm.
sometimes he'll try and climb up
A telephone
a
pole. And,
telephone
yeah.
pole. See, to me, that was much more pronounced of a situation where it's like, hey, here's a situation where Mob could have easily
Easily
used his powers and he
Yeah.
did not.
Yeah.
So that's very pronounced. And then the scene where he uses his powers is less pronounced.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give this unifying vibe at the end where it's like, oh, cool. So sometimes he doesn't use his powers, but he understands that he can use them sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and let me just say, in the spinoff, he's in the spinoff too a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah. So you're right. I really do wish they had shown a more integrated Bob. And yes, in the spinoff manga, he does show up at one point. And he does use his powers very explicitly. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I think it is supposed to be that he's integrated and all that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get that that's the point. I just don't think they illustrated it well.
Yes, I do wish they were far more clear. I do wish that even one was more clear here, but again,
Yeah.
it's more of like the language of comics here more than anything else. And the fact that they don't really have like the glow
Yeah.
like in anime, so
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, one stated in the fan book that he had always planned for the final panel would be of Mob laughing.
Mhm.
Since I was all the way back in episode 3, I can't laugh.
I can't laugh.
Yeah, it was that whole thing with Dimple at the cult.
Oh,
He's like, yeah, even if I wanted to, I can't.
right.
Yeah.
Because look at this sad boy.
Cause look at the sad boy.
Right.
Well, that's not because, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got here Cobalt one last time. Uh, Interesting to think about the color symbolism there now because so whenever it was just Shigeo,
Mhm.
his aura was all like red instead of the usual purpley blue
Mhm.
thing or whatever. And at the end of Cobalt, we see that the hoodie he was wearing wasn't blue, like the monochrome. It's red. It's a red hoodie.
Cobalt?
Cobalt, the ending theme.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
ending theme.
you gotta use words.
Sorry, the ending theme with the animation of Mob going for a run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And at the end, we find out that the hoodie's not blue; it's red hoodie, like Shigeo's aura.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But cobalt is a word that means that's a blue, right?
it's a blue. Yeah, because the whole ending is animated in monochrome until the very end.
Gotcha.
Yeah, monochrome blue.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we got to some bottle caps during the Reagan speech. Same bottle cap that he's holding in Cobalt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun end, I like it. Like it for Mob. Yeah, I do think this is one of the weaker seasons.
Yeah.
But I look forward to whether or not they animate an OVA. I'd love a spinoff about Show. That'd be fun. Whether or not it's about his shonen protagonist times of trying to take down his dad, or his complicated relationship with his powers. Like, yeah, we were talking about like last episode. It does feel kind of against message if he's like, oh, I gotta give up my powers, but then again, his relationship with his powers is much different than Mob's.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because obviously he has not been repressing his shadow self.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Cool. Any other thoughts on the finale?
Yeah. It was fun.
That's our review of Bob's Psycho 100, guys. It was fun.
It was fine. Yeah.
It was a fun ride, man. Huh. Man, it's interesting to see people who've been like watching it for like 6 years,
Mhm.
especially people who are anime only
Mhm.
and waited
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, whole 6 years.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Uh, did you have anything in mind that you wanted to do for our next season?
Not currently.
Not currently.
We'll figure it
Awesome.
out.
Well, we'll figure it out. Maybe by the time this comes out, we'll have figured it out. If not, leave a little comment or an email. We're back in touch at gmail.com. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, please email
we'll
us.
take suggestions of some kind. We can also say no to them.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
no is always an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Subomi.
That's true.
Thank you for listening to podcasts and such. Join us next time as we watch whatever we start watching.
Whatever we start watching. Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks once again for listening to us talk about the entirety of Mob Psycho 100. We've already moved on to our next project, that being My Hero Academia Season 5. Yes, we're starting with Season 5 because that's just where Luke left off. So we're already almost halfway through recording that season. So I hope you'll join us for that. We get into some kind of light spoilers here and there, but nothing major, just really, really vague happenings in the show. So yeah, thanks again for listening, and I'm always down to talk about Mob Psycho 100, so you can contact us at podcasts and such at gmail.com. I have that linked below in the description. So thank you once again. I had a great time recording this. See ya!